community activity over the past 20 years has been just eroded and eroded. There's less and less money in the arts. There's less and less space for people to go. And people are kind of encouraged not to participate in community events. They're encouraged to be individualistic. They're encouraged to look out for themselves, survival of the fittest. You don't need anyone else. And I don't think that's a good thing. And I think a lot of people agree, which is why working with us is enjoyable for a lot of people. We launched February 2016. Since then, I've kind of been running it, organising it along with Sonny and Maya, contacting artists, bringing them through, playing their music, seeing if there's a project that we can work on. If something clicks, then we record them, we mix them, we master them. Once the song's finished, we think about the release, so getting the artwork together, maybe getting a video done, and then releasing it on our platforms which we've built, and then putting on events, community events, to raise money for Route 73, which we've saved and used to pay for this. Working at Maya's house for 2 years, 2 and a bit years even, got kind of claustrophobic, and we knew that there was more in our organisation than that was allowing us to be. A friend of mine called Raf, he works in charity, in an arts charity in Leeds, came to London to visit various other arts charities to make links with them, and visited Total Refreshment Centre, which is where we're sitting now. He was saying that they were about to lose their lease on the whole building. I kind of suggested that if I helped them, then we might be able to get a space in their new property as an exchange for helping them find a space. So I took him for various meetings with Hackney Cooperative Developments, Hackney Council, and just generally was trying to offer support. Nothing came of it, but then 6 weeks later, Lex gave me a ring and told me that the lease on the building had been extended 18 months to 2 years, and that as a thank you for sort of participating, he'd give us a spot in this building.
We're going to put rubber under this side of the wall.
Jacob's been involved with Route 73 for a long time, since our first ever event, the first stop at Dalton Roof Park. He ended up building us a gallery space that is portable, that we can move around and strap together in different ways. He's always had an eye for kind of design and building structures of various different kinds. His favourite thing, I think, is to build bespoke furniture, and that's what he wants to go into later on.
That's the idea.
That's it.
Acoustic.
I'll have to have a look, I've not seen that. Ellery I've known since I was 3 years old. We went to primary school together. Very old friend. He's currently working with a company, does a whole range of different trades. So he's assisting in loads of different areas of different stages of a build. So he's got a really good eye for what works, how things are going to fit together, and what kind of could go wrong with a project.
But we don't.
We could double layer it, just fold it on top of itself.
But because we've got this much space, we may as well use this much space. It'll be stupid just to...
The ventilation system, he was really conscious throughout the whole build. He was saying there's gonna be no air in here, you're gonna get really hot and it's gonna be shit. He just didn't think about it until the last minute, at which point he was like, right, I'm gonna drill through the brick wall. There's going to be a hole going out of the building and back in, and with an electric fan on this side, bringing in fresh air. Yeah, he drilled through the wall and then built a bespoke sound insulated ventilation system. So hopefully we'll get fresh air with minimal sound coming through. I guess that sums up in a way what Ellery brings. It's the fine tuning, the engineering of something that's really specific and necessary. Maya's been involved right from the start, basically making music, and he's now like gradually over the past couple of years has been building up his equipment in his room. He's got a really good studio going on in his bedroom, and he's been doing all of the mixing and recording for all of the Root projects from the start, as well as sound engineering the events and generally running Route 73 with me and Sonny. Maya's domain is sound, but like what Maya's brought to this whole build, this construction, is like real energy and heartfelt excitement for the whole project, and that's what you need on something like this. You need someone who's dedicated and is willing to give a lot of time to it.
Yeah.
Max is a bricklayer by trade. He has been for as long as I can remember. Max is another friend that I've known since I was 2 or 3 years old. He came one day when we'd finished the big partition wall, and he said, right, I'll get involved. I'll have a go. I've seen people doing similar stuff on site, I'll give it a crack. And then he was really good at it, so he's been plastering for us. As we speak, George is over the other side with a couple of his pals wiring up the electrics, putting all the fittings in, putting the lights in, the plug sockets. George is a trained electrician, as are his friends, and they've come along today to basically finish the wiring that we did and put all the fittings into the roofs and the walls. I know a tradesman in every trade that you could possibly need for a project like this, and it's like, it's nice to know it, and it's also just been like incredibly lucky that people have come together in this way and wanted to dedicate their time to it. Some of them aren't necessarily going to get anything directly back from it, like they're not musicians and they're not part of Route 73 in that way, but they believe in what we're doing and they like it, so they're helping, and like obviously I'll look to help them out in any way I can afterwards if they need help. To run the studio, we've got 3 plans basically. One is the Route 73 work that we've been doing for the past 2 years, which is kind of our wider network of friends, as well as people sort of we know through other friends, mutual friends, like a wide community of artists, just to come through and use this space to create, spend time here, work on projects together, collaborate, perform together at events, basically just be a part of Route 73. The second idea to use this studio space is to partner with various other organisations in Hackney and basically get them to supply us with people who need studio space. And then the third idea is commercial jobs, so advertising the space as a professional recording studio in East London. None of us are on a salary on Route 73, we all do this in our free time. It's not going to be like a huge money-making thing, it's more to have a space for the community. There's going to be a lot more events, there's going to be a lot of new people coming through. It's just going to be a space in Hackney, in our local area, that is used all the time to make music. Give us a call, message us, see what we're saying, come through, see the space. It's yours.